Okay. Okay. I think Kalevan is also came out on Raj Kumar.
So students, this is very good important session for you people. Not only today's class, this is for your career. Please attend carefully and don't leave in between the meeting. Okay. So after this class, I'll post the some of the assignment questions. Okay. So and also I'll share the slides what we discussed today. Okay. So Surya sir, I want to share the you are making as a host. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll make you as a host now. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
So now you are the host, sir. You can start.
Okay. So, hi everyone, students. So, I like to have a interaction sessions with you all. Okay. So, if you have any kind of doubts, you can text in between, as well as you all can have an interaction in between also. Just in the mail, if I'm talking something, you can ask me in between also, or else you can just text me over here. Okay. So, don't make it as a single one-side session. If I'm going to giving a session, means don't be like that. So let me share. I will do one thing. I'll start with PPT session with you guys.
Surya, this is
In between,
Rajkumar.
I'll run up Android also. So first of thing, I think most of the people from your end has been asked to your sir to have a session on Eclipse. Is it right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay. So for that, let me explain you something. It's good that you have asked to explain the things in Eclipse because in our colleges, most of the colleges, we only go for Eclipse for the Android development, which has been outdated nowadays. Uh, Most probably, I can say you it's been outdated nearly 5 years before, 5 or 6 years before, when we been in a college or we been started to develop an Android application. On that time, we have used Eclipse because Android is based on Java, and at the time, Eclipse is the best IDE which we use for development the Java applications. I think most of your students has know about IDEs, right, guys? Anybody can talk in between also. Hello, anyone can unmute and talk. Hello, are you all there? Can you confirm that? You can text also. I
Students,
think
please
everybody is
kindly
on.
reply for that. Otherwise, he consider no one is joined.
That's the thing I'm asking you all. Can you guys repeat or response for the yes? Okay, that's good. Ronak Jain. Okay, it's good. Okay, so yeah, two people are responding. This is good. If you can unmute yourself and you can talk also. It will be more good. You can have a session as an interactive session. It will be very useful for you also. Anybody is there? Okay, yes, sir. Okay, you continue. Yes, sir. Okay, it's okay. So we'll continue. So in, as I said, in Eclipse, it's a Java-based application. That's why you will first. I think you are in Eclipse, for Android development. But as I was saying, if you're using Eclipse, so it's okay. You can have a lower condition of application start, but it takes minimum to start the app for a minimum 30 minutes or 1 hour to deploy the application, and then you can run it in an emulator. It takes a lot of period of time. So that's the reason most of the companies and colleges also they have made it as outdated, and we moved to Android Studio. At present, it's Android Studio is based on Angular. Sorry, it's based on Google, and for Android, it's more feasible. Okay, so now let us go for an Android session. I think someone is asking for request. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let us go for Android. Studio. Okay. Um, when we're going for Android Studio, anybody of you guys, I think sir has been told me that 3 or 4 of you so knows about Android Studio and Android applications. Can anybody can say, do you know anything about it? Guys, anyone can unmute and talk regarding it. Or you can text also. Hello.
Kiran, can you unmute and answer for that? Sai Kishan. Or otherwise you can text in the chat box.
Yeah, because if you can talk with also, it's okay. Just text also. Because I want an interactive section. Again, I'm repeating to you guys. You are 80 to 90 students over there, so I want to interact with you all. Oh, I think you thinking to talk in between. No, it's okay. Not an issue. So let me tell you. And starting, I told you the Android Studio is based on Google. Okay. So that's the reason we are most of the companies and also college people are going towards Android Studio. It is very easy nowadays to access to develop an app, and we can do a lot of things in the app regarding the app which we are using in a mobile. Okay. So let me share a PPT with you guys, which will be useful to you. 1 second. Okay. So guys, can you see? I think you can respond for that also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So are you guys knows about Android Studio a little bit? Any of you? It's okay. I'll go into the session. So did you know anything about what is mobile development and how we are going to do it? Any idea for that? Vivekanand. I think some requests are coming over here, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take care.
Okay. Okay. So guys, again I'm saying if you guys can interact means it will be very useful for us so we can move forward easily.
Students, can you respond for that? What is the difficulty in this? If you know something, you can answer for that. Okay, Yuvraj is there. Yuvraj,
Yes,
Yuvraj,
sir.
just you can answer for that, yeah. See, we are taking classes for you people only, not for us. Okay, just you can answer for that, Yuvraj.
So to create a software application.
Ah, sir. Okay, you continue. Sir.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, the guy who been talking, just tell your name and then you continue. Just tell the thing what
Sir,
you said.
it's
Yeah.
Yuvraj.
Okay, Yuvraj. Yeah, it's good. Tell me, Yuvraj.
Yes, sir. It's kind of a process of making software applications which can run on a compatible devices.
Okay. Okay, it's good, Yuvraj. So, guys, you can give an applause to him. Okay, so because he's one initiated to talk with us in between this session. So good, Yuvraj, you're saying good. So for saying this, in mobile app, there is two type of mobile app. Did you guys know about it, Yuvraj or someone else?
So can you repeat once?
Okay. There in mobile development, there are two kind of application development process. Okay, two kind of type. Okay, did you know about this thing?
Uh, no, sir.
There are okay. Okay, so let me tell you. For this as an application development, we develop the apps in two bases. One is native, and one is a hybrid. Okay, so hybrid, I think so. Already you had a session little bit
Yes,
of
sir.
it.
Yes,
So
sir.
now we are particularly going for native. Okay. So for native, we develop everything for the platform separately. For example, Android, we'll go for Google because it's based on Angular. Okay. Based on them, that's why we're going for Android Studio, which is also developed by Google. For iOS, we go for Xcode, which is developed by them. For Windows, we go for Xamarin. There is a lot of, okay. So now we particularly going for Android Studio. We can develop the Android Studio ID from the Google. They have an Android.framework link. Okay, I'll share the link last of the session. Okay, by which you can develop from there. It around comes 1 GB of size. Okay, so you can easily download from the internet and you can access it. So how to do the process? I will share a PPT for that. 1 second. I think the links is not sharing. Let me share that.
Sir, share screen you want?
1 second. I just shared, sir. No problem. I think, guys, you can see. Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So see, this is the Android Studio .exe file. Okay, which is I'm going to set up over in my system. Just a screenshot of it. How we are going to set up it. So this sets. I think most probably you people know about it. So next one is choose the component we are installing. So there will be two kind of setups over here. One is Android Studio and another one is Android Virtual Device. So I think most of the people doesn't know what is Android Virtual Device. Let me explain you. If you know about Android Studio means there will be an emulator over there where we run the app virtually in the system, like which we run in this mobile. We can see it on mobile. You're all mobiles, like you're using Zoom app. I think most of the people can using in mobile and some people are using in system. Okay, so that app is developed by some other person. They have first had a testing with the system only. For doing the testing purpose, we use emulator or also called as Android virtual device, which also we have to install through the process. So next, it is a process where you have to select. Next step will be like this. Then comes the next part of setup. If you have to select a standard version or customize, most of the people will go for standard. Then we have an option like recently upgraded for black theme or light version. Then instead of it, as I said, recently Android emulator, there's a size which you have to select inside. Then SDK, software development kit, it's a tool which we'll use inside. Then emulator accelerator HXM installer, which is used to run the emulator in Intel system. Okay. So guys, I think most of the people of you are using Android, right? So I think you guys know. One second. Somebody is asking a question. Let it go like this. Okay. Next, I think you see the screen. Now the installation process has been finished. When we start the Android app Studio, this is the first screen we can see over there. I think you can see the points over there. Can anyone read it from your side, from the students? Guys, any one of you, any volunteer who can read the point by which I can get that you can see that screen clearly. Hello.
Start a new Android Studio project.
Yeah. So this is the first point. Everybody knows that we have to starting means we have to start the Android Studio app over there. Okay. Next.
Open an existing Android Studio project.
Yeah. So if we already have a existing project mean we can open it over here and we can have a coding part and sessions. Okay. Next.
Check out project from version control.
Version control. Okay. So this is the point where we can see we can access the project which could be in a lower version. We can open it or upgrade it. For this purpose, we go on this section. Okay. Next.
Profile or debug app.
APK.
Yeah.
So guys, the app which we used to install in our system, in mobile, which we called as APK. I think you guys all know because you all are using Android phones, right? So most probably you download APK from Google Store, then we'll install it. So we after developing or deploying the application, mobile app, we can debug it. So for this, the fourth point is used for us. The fifth point. Can anyone read it also?
Import project.
Yeah. Gradle, Eclipse ADT, etc. So for this import project, we can have a project in Eclipse. We can import the project from there to the Android Studio also. These are the points which latest thing coming on it. Previously, we only have a 3 kind of points over the older version. If you go for Eclipse also, we don't have this much of points on it. Okay. So the last one is import an Android code sample, which we can get from GitHub. Guys, you can hear, right? Hello. Between you have to repeat little bit. We can have a session. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So then we'll go for the next point. See, after selecting the start a new Android Studio project, we'll come to the next session. So you can see the screen right over here also. So over here, we have to select a template. Like we can go for a PPT or a Word also. We have a type of templates over there. We can select. The same way for developing app, we have a lot of templates which has been already predefined by the developer teams already. So over here, we can see no activity, basic activity, empty activity, bottom navigation activity, fragmented, full screen activity. Next there will be another. I have like master detail, navigation, Google Maps, login activity, scrolling activity, tab activity. These all are types of templates which we'll have on the starting, and we can select any one of the template to start the project. Okay. Then we'll go for Wear OS. Guys, you can see the Wear OS which has been latest updated for watch. I think most of the people we have watches which is also controlled by Google's as an Android developed device. So where we can have a lot of app like you have heard about Swiggy's, they are giving apps recently for watches also, which is developed in this kind of stuff. Then Google Map, Watch, Face, these all stuffs. Okay. Then we go for the configuration of the project where we'll give the name. We can sub the name which we use in upsize. Next, the location. Next comes the language. We have options in language Java, Kotlin. There are a lot of options. I just selected a Kotlin just for a sample model. Then comes the minimum SDK. Okay, in minimum SDK, we have to select the minimum Android OS which can support the app which are developing, going to develop. Like most other people can have older version, and some people have a later version. I think most of you are guys having new phones now, but some older people can have older versions. They can't able to use it. But at present, you can see the latest version which you are giving can't support the older version. I think any of you noticed that? Hello, guys. Any of
Yes,
you
sir, we
noticed
have
that
noticed it.
latest versions which we are recently downloading doesn't support older version, right? Can you
Yes,
give
sir.
any kind of example for that? Any app have you noticed? Hello, any of you has been noticed that? You can text also if you can means if you can talk means also it's okay for me. But your 80 to 90 people over there, students over there, you can interact. Guys, if it goes very silently means I will just one side session is goes up over here. I can explain you. I can go up just like that. I need an interesting session. Can you guys please talk?
Sir, the
Hello.
Facebook app, previously it was something different and now it is something different. Sir. It has been updated a lot.
Okay. Okay. So your good name?
Sir, Ronak Jain.
Okay, Anand. Nice. It's good you've been talking over here. It's very good. So you have seen that. Like the same way you are also seeing the wearing watch apps also, right? I able to see that also. Okay, it's good. So okay. So next we will go for the next slide. So you guys can see we have configuring the project over here. Next we go for the setup has been finished up over here. Okay, this is the Android Studio screens, which is in show screen. I will share the whole app over there, the Android Studio, next in few minutes. Before that, I want to share something about the virtual device. I told about the starting. Okay, so guys, you can see the screen over there in the second session of the top bar. There is an app or no device. Can you see that
Yes, sir.
drop down, right? Okay, so you can click over there. Then the screens comes up in the center part, which is coming Android Virtual Device Manager. Okay, this particular screens use virtual device in our system, which is called we are called as emulator. Recently, we're calling it everybody calls us. So before we use it, we have to select the emulator which we are going to use, the versions and everything, the screen size. Like you're having a mobile size of 5 inch or 5.5 inch or a tab or 6 inch of mobile that you guys have to select in a virtual device by which we can have a clear cut view on it, a demo view. So for that, I'll go to the next part. I'll show you there. Okay. So after giving next, now you can see select the hardware which I have been told you before. In phone, there is a size, name pixel. Name can be predefined from them. We can later change it also. We can see size 5.5, 6 inch resolutions over there. In right hand side, you can see the ratios and all. You can select any one of it, or else if you want to develop an app for TV or for watch or tablet, you can select the tab in the left hand side. We can go for next one. Okay, then if you go for next one, there comes a major part system. Guys, over here you can see there is a lot of versions in it. I think you know that what is the latest version come up over in Android. Anybody can say that? Hello. Anybody can unmute yourself and can talk regarding the version which you're using now. R sir. Okay, Kiran. So, but at present, what we are using is the R is launched, but everybody are using the LOR. Which versions we are using?
Sir, Android 5.
Anybody? Guy, I can. Your voice is fluctuating. Can you repeat again?
We are using Android Pie and Android Studio.
Android. Okay, it's good. Anybody tried Pi and Q? Okay. New device comes with Q. Okay. So now we have to select which version of OS we are going to develop the app, or the latest version which can be supported. When we started the application to over there, we have given the name and we have selected the minimum SDK, right? Guys, you know the full form of SDK? I told in the starting.
Software development kit.
Yeah. So the minimum version we have selected is 4.1. Okay. And the latest version we can give to 100R APR, by which we have to download it over there. Like if you're selecting download, then there comes a license agreement. We have to accept it. We will see the things. Okay. Then we'll give next means the SDK will be accepted and the virtual device will be created. Okay. 1 second. I will stop the PPT and I'll go for the screen for the Android Studio. Yeah, it's loading. 1 second. As you can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I think already you had sessions about mobiles and all, but in between I want to say about building blocks of mobile before going into the development. Before telling about the things, I think already your staffs or some other persons have been explained about the activity, fragment, broadcast, receivers, service, intent, like building blocks, things. Have you any idea about what are the things which they have explained in it? Guys, can anybody can unmute yourself and talk, by which we'll get that we are getting a session more good or not. Hello,
Some more
any one of
idea.
you? Ronak, I think some Ronak has been unmuted. Sir,
Sir.
guys are a bit, little bit shy, or I think they are not in a situation to talk or something like that. Or Ronak, yeah, tell me,
Yes,
Ronak.
sir. So the activities and also don't know what all those things, sir. The last topic.
Ronak, your voice is
Last.
a little bit low. Can you tell me again? Repeat again.
So you asked about the activity and
Yeah,
all.
the building blocks. Yeah,
So we don't have much idea about it, sir.
you don't have much idea about it, right?
It's
Okay. Um, we'll explain about it. What is the building blocks? Okay, more
yes,
clearly.
sir.
Just hold on. In this time, I will share another person who will explain it more properly. Who is in at present building the things in the blocks. Let me use Kalaivanan over here, one of my friend. Kalai, can you take the sessions over here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to all. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, students. Actually, this session for viewers only. So we are spending the time with our working time with you. So please understand this situation and share your thoughts with. This is a uh, we are expecting your comments and your queries in this session. So please interactive more to get the knowledge about from me with Surya also. Okay, so this is not only for our sessions. For this is for your session. So you need to give the input from. You need to get the input and give the input and get the knowledge from ours. Okay, so please cooperate with us. If you have any doubts on that, we are explaining the concept. Please ask your queries. Okay, that then only we can give our inputs, and we will move to the next step. Okay. So everybody understand the concept, how to set up the environment using Android Studio, right? Okay. Hereafter, we are going to the concepts of native things, like how to make the app. Oh, this is the environment part. First, we are going to set up. So everybody understanding how to set up Android Studio in your machines, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt on it? You have any doubts? Actually, Android Studio in every corporate, we are using Android Studio tool only. So this is in this tool there are a uh, lot of features is there, because this is the providing by Google. Okay, so already some technical concepts like SGK activity, those are explained in Android Studio itself. Okay, we will get in detail about it. I will explain you. Okay, so before creating the app, some of the things you need to define first. Okay, like minimum SDK. Okay, so in that minimum SDK, we need to give the basic level of application support. Like we will define this as a API. Okay, like 14, 15, like this is the number defining the API versions. During the emulator, creating the emulator, you see the list of versions like P, Q, or like this. But currently in our market, only Q versions only supporting. But for developer perspective, R is also supporting. You see that screen, huh? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But currently in production, only R is Q only in market. But as a developer, we can develop to R versions also. Before coming into the market, Google will produce the developer versions in Android Studio. So we can develop for R versions softwares like app. We can publish in market. Before coming into the market, we can release to R versions. We can test to R versions OS, and we can release the APK. Okay, so then we can move to the concept now, like building blocks. Okay, building blocks means if you want to make an app, first you need to get the setup. Like Android Studio is our environment setup. This is the ID. We are going to develop the app. Okay, to start an app development, you need to know the concepts of what are the blocks are there to build the app. Okay, so in detail we can see there are 5 building blocks are there for developing the app. First one is activity. Okay, so in Android Studio you can see the one screen, like in template screen you can see the one screen like empty activity, no activity, and map activity, bottom bar navigation activity. Like these are the options are in that template. Okay, these are the types of activity. Without one activity you cannot create the app. Okay, so compulsory there will be one activity in an app. This is the representation of UI screen. Okay, so in every app there will be one UI screen is there. Okay, like if you take the WhatsApp, you can take the Truecaller. These are the apps in current market. You can, if you launch the app now, one screen will be pop up or one screen will be launched. Okay, this is called an activity. Okay, so in every app there will be one compulsory one activity will be there. Without activity you cannot create the app. Okay, so activity is the main component of building blocks. Okay, so one activity is represent to the UI screen of app. Okay, so in UI screen you can design your UI elements like button, edit text, and list view. These are the a lot of elements is there. UI element is there. So you can develop the app with activity with UI elements. Okay. Everybody understand the concept of activity? Is there any doubt?
Yes, you can talk. That only we can know. Hello. One second.
Hello.
Somebody is texting also. Let me see that.
Hello, guys. Can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the
Sure.
answer I need.
can see
Okay,
now.
I can proceed with the next. Okay. So activity is the first component to build the app. Without activity, we cannot able to create an app. Okay. This is the first step to create an mobile app. This is activities also is called class. Okay. You know about Java syntax. Huh? Everybody know the Java programming.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Java is the
One
class.
second. Kale, 1 second. Guys,
Yes.
I want to tell you one thing in between. Sorry to interrupt, Kale. Don't think that we are not giving a session in Eclipse or we're giving in Android Studio. Okay. The development process for the coding will be same in Android Studio and as well as in Eclipse. The difference is only the IDE, which you not, which is little bit changing over here. Okay. The major thing why we are explaining you through the Android Studio, because you guys are, I think most of you are in third year or final year, you are going to pass out and you're going to work in a company. Okay. At that time, if you're going to learn Eclipse and going over there, it will be very difficult for you guys. That's the reason we are starting from Android Studio. It will be very useful for you all, by which you can easily learn up and go to the next step. Okay. So for that the particular reason, we are all explaining you in Android Studio. Native. Okay, Kala, you can carry on now.
Okay. You know, everybody understand the concept of activity now?
Yes,
Any
sir.
doubt in activity?
As you have any doubt means you can text in message or you can explain it.
You can
Ask us
you can
directly.
also text me in chat session. Okay, activity is the representation of class. One class extends activity means it will be Android components implementations of that class. Okay, you can integrate your UI elements in that activity and show to the user screen. Okay, so without activity you cannot able to create a UI elements in that screen. Okay. So every activity has some life cycle. Okay, like some of the life cycles are on create, on resume, on pause, on destroy, and on stop. These are the life cycle of activity. So during the start of the screen, the first life cycle is on create method. Okay, in this on create method only, you will show the UI elements to the user, like displaying the UI screen. Okay, so in this on create method, you can show the user controls and you handle the user controls by the user, like button click, button text showing, list view loading. Like this, you can do it on create method. Okay, if you resume the if you go to the app on pause state means on pause state will be called in this method. On pause method, app will be in go to the background state. You can if you want to handle something on that method now, you can use that on pause
Kale,
life cycle.
Kale, 1 second, hold on.
What
Raj
happened?
Kumar, just 1 second. Raj Kumar is asking some query regarding this one. Raj Kumar, just ask it.
Hi, Kalai. This is Rajkumar.
Yeah, Rajkumar, tell me.
Okay. So,
What is
Kalai,
the question?
I just want to ask one question on behalf of students.
Okay.
So, we were talking about the word ID for a long time, that integrated development environment for a long time.
Okay.
So, if possible, can you please elaborate that word ID? Because students are yet to find a difference between why we are going for Android Studio instead of going for Eclipse. And for example, in my perspective, I'm telling. So,
Yeah,
you
sure,
can do
sure,
one Android
Rajkumar.
application. You can code Android application using Notepad itself, right?
What? I
You
didn't.
need a Gradle for building that APK file, and you
Yes,
can
correct.
simply code your Android application inside a Notepad itself.
Yes, yes.
What is the
Okay.
use of Eclipse? What is the use of Android Studio? If you tell that, that will be useful, I guess.
Yes, sure,
Sorry if I'm wrong.
Rajkumar. No issues on that. I will explain the IDE difference between Eclipse and Android Studio. but why we not going for Notepad plus plus? Okay, Notepad or Notepad plus plus. Okay, during the first time into the market of Android in the 2005. Okay, actually 15 years of years going for Android in
Sir,
the
excuse
market.
me, sir.
Okay, in
Sorry for the
2005.
interruption.
What?
Sir, I am Dr. Kumar Sami. I am the
Yes.
coordinator.
Kalai, 1 second.
Yes,
Just you
sir.
can explain with some slides, sir, so that the students can understand.
Sir, actually, we
If you
didn't
have.
prepare a slide for Eclipse. Okay, sir.
Okay,
So
okay.
we are planning for Android Studio only, but this
Okay.
is the communication. For I'm explaining the difference only.
Kumar
So you
Sami sir,
can.
I will share the screens, okay? I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
share
that's
the
what.
screens, PPT with you. You
Yep.
can send it to the students. After the session, I will, in few minutes, I'll share you, okay?
Yes, you can share through your screen, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Surya will take care of it. Surya will send you the PPT after this session end. Okay, sir. I'm going to the concept now. As Rajkumar asking, like, what is the difference between Eclipse and Android Studio? During the first time into the market of Android, there is no IDE. Okay, the Android is just an operating system developed for mobile purpose. Okay, so on the time to develop an application for that OS, every developer needs some IDE. Okay, on that time, for Java development purpose, Eclipse is the tool, IDE tool, that support to build an project and compile to the output compiler. Actually, it is a programming language. Okay, Java is a programming language, so it need a compiler. Okay, why we not going for a Notepad plus and why we are using a Eclipse or a Android Studio now? If you develop some code, it should be compiled to the SDK, like JDK, you know about it, Java development kit, and it is a compiler to compile the native code into the machine language. Okay, so there is an we need a compiler. It is if you develop in a Notepad plus or Notepad, you need a separate compiler. So with the integrated of this both, like develop and coding, and to compile that code with outputs, we need an IDE. Okay, IDE is the integrated development environment, we call as a IDE. So it will consists of both development environment and compiling environment, and output we can see in that IDE itself. Okay, this is the integrated development environment we call as a Eclipse or Android Studio. Okay, this is the difference between why we are using Notepad plus plus and Eclipse. Okay, I'm coming to the Android Studio now. During the starting period of Android, we used Java as a programming language to develop an Android application. So on that time, there is no IDE other than Eclipse. Okay, we all developers uh, use the Eclipse for developing the Android app, and using the Java programming language, we defined the programming and we created a class in Eclipse, and we generated the APK. Okay, so in Eclipse, we need a separate environment SDK called SDK. So you know about it, SDK, as Surya explained. SDK is a software development kit. So in Android, we need Android is a separate operating system from Windows. Okay, so if you want to develop an Android apps, we need that environment, like Android OS versions like PQ currently in market. I'm explaining. Okay, these are the from alphabet A to currently now PQR is in market. Okay, so these are the operating system developed by Google and publishing as a SDK to the developers. Okay, so if you want to develop a programming language, we need this SDK to compile our code. Okay, and build the APK file. Okay, so at the starting period, we use the Eclipse and the separate environment SDK from Google Play Store. We integrated in IDE, Eclipse IDE, and take the build. But in later period, developers facing so much problems, like we need a separate AVD, like Android virtual device. We need a separate SDK tool from Google Play Store. We need a separate team. Eclipse is a separate team, developer team. Okay, we need a separate update from Eclipse team. So these are configuring a lot of problems. Like each of these things, we need a separate team to get the updates. Like if the Eclipse team update some features, we need to get the same feature update from SGK team. So we need to get the same update from AVD team, like Android virtual team, virtual device team. So this configuration is having a lot of problem. So what Google planned now, they created an IDE for purposely developing the Android applications called Android Studio. Okay, this is the supporting by IntelliJ team with the Google. They are make us a partnership, and they are providing the update to the developers, Android developers. In single IDE, Android Studio, you can get the all the features like developing applications using Java, and developing the applications like using Kotlin also they integrated. Kotlin is the latest programming language introduced by Google. It is perfectly developed for Android applications, like only for Android development only Kotlin programming is using. Okay, for native perspective, they are releasing to the market. And also you can see the in Android Studio, you can see the separate window like SGK. You can see this preview screen, like during the development, you can see the what element placing in correct screen. Like if you can see the in screen, like next button is placing on correct bottom of the center below the bottom. Okay, like that you can see preview screen is integrated in Android Studio itself. And also there will be a profiler option is there. Profiler means you can monitor the app running with timing measurement. Okay, so launching time, application opening time, like, and opening the screen delay time, like that you can monitor in Android Studio also. Lot of tools in available in single IDE Android Studio for performance monitoring, and also for building the APK, and also building the programming, and also compiling the programming language. So these are the features available in Android Studio to make the complete app development. Okay, so you understand the concept of Android Studio, right? Any doubt? Rajkumar and other people?
Thank you, Kalyanan.
Okay. If you have any doubt in this, we can send a chat privately. I can explain more about it. Okay. I have knowledge in more than 5 years in Android Studio. I can explain more lot of things available in Android Studio. Okay. But this is a short time session. We need to complete the syllabus. Okay. I'm proceeding with the Android building blocks now. Everybody understand the concept of activity, right?
So, 1 second. Just a second. Guys, have you understand what I have explained? Just reply is, it will be very useful for us. So what is the difference between Eclipse and Android Studio? There's a major thing, that is Eclipse, Android Studio, all is also a software which is developed by like us only. It is for our convenient to develop the application. That's all. But the thing is that Eclipse is little bit older, and which is developed by older people. So it is not updated like as well as by Android Studio. Eclipse have less features and Android Studios have higher features. That's the reason we are moving to Android Studio. It is the explanation which is being given by Kalai particularly. Okay, Kalai, you can carry on now.
Yeah. Now I'm going to the second building components called fragments. Okay. During the initial period of Android development, if you want to develop on screen, we need to use the activity only. So n number of screens in app, we need to create n number of activity. Okay. So what happening now? If you want
little
to
bit
move,
slower.
Hello. Can
little
you
bit
hear
slower.
now?
I think yeah, little bit slower. Yeah.
Everybody can hear now. Hello. Surya,
Surya,
can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear your voice. Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving to the second components like fragments. Okay. Everybody understand the activity? I think I hope everybody can understand activity now. So I'm moving to the fragments like activity. If you want to create a number of screens in your app, you need to create a number of activity. So every activity has some life cycle. I explained before, like on create, on start, on pause, on destroy, like this. Every activity has some separate life cycle. Okay. If you want to move from one screen to another screen, it will take the completion of activity life cycle. So it has some delay in moving one screen to another screen. Okay, so what Google developers think now, we need to reduce this time of reduce the loading time of screen to the user. Like so they introduced a fragment for the lollipop versions. Okay, everybody know the lollipop versions of no, I think KitKat. Sorry, KitKat versions. Everybody know the KitKat version of Android. So during the release of that OS version KitKat, they introduced this fragment concept. Okay, so in this fragment, you can load the multiple screen in single page itself. For example, WhatsApp. Okay, if you take the WhatsApp now, you can see the only one screen. Okay, one screen inside that one screen, they loaded the three screens like chat, calls, and status. Okay, you are launching the one screen only. Inside that one screen, you can load the three screens. Okay, using that fragment component. Okay, fragment loads the three different screen on same single screen. Actually, it's called a fragment activity. Inside that fragment activity, we can load the multiple screen to reduce the loading screen time of one screen to another screen. Fragment also having the separate life cycle. Each fragments having their own life cycle inside that activity. Okay, to develop an application, Android application, so you need to use the one activity on inside that activity. You can load the more components using like fragments. Okay, so fragment introduced for reducing the loading time of screen. Okay, so inside that same screen you can load the multiple screens like using the fragments. For example, WhatsApp. Okay, so this is the second component, and third component is service. Okay, service is an example for running the background process. Okay, so in every app we can see that requesting the network access and loading the update from the user, update to the user. Like if you not running the WhatsApp application, you can still receive the chats like a message. You can receive the message from your friends. Okay, so this is the service running in background. Like if you kill the app, if you kill the app now, still it is running in background to receive the message from your other users. So service is on another component. Using this component, you can build the application for background running process. Okay, and fourth one is broadcast receiver. Broadcast receiver is a simple example for push notifications. So every app in your phone, every application sends some push notification message to the user. If you see in your phone notification bar now, you can see the number of notification receiving from installed applications like WhatsApp, Facebook, and also some other etc application. You will receive the continuous push notification. So without running the app, you can receive the notification using this broadcast receiver components. Okay, so broadcast receiver is mainly for broadcasting the message to the user via push notification. So if you click that push notification, it will launch the applications. Everybody can see it. Okay, everybody get some experience in that. If you will receive the notifications, if you click that notifications, applications will be launched. So this is for perfectly the broadcasting message to the user, publishing some content, updating the content to the user via broadcast receiver. Okay, and fifth one is intent. Okay, using intent, you can shift the applications like one screen to another screen, and also you can launch one app to another app. Like you can see some message like if you click that link, and you will be redirect to the WhatsApp, like sharing the app, sharing the WhatsApp. Actually, you have some applications like gallery. Okay, you have some photos in gallery. You want to send this photo to the WhatsApp users. Okay, so what will you do? You select that image, and using the send options, you will select the list of applications like Share It or WhatsApp or Facebook, like that installed application. So intent is the component to invoking the app from one app to another app, or also in single app you can moving one screen to another screen. Like you password, you will click the switching one page to another page. Intent is the counts from one screen to another screen. Okay, these are the 5 major building blocks. If you have any doubts now, please ask in chat. Okay, I'm posting these components to all in chat. you can refer it. Okay. Any doubts, please ping in chat. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I understand the building blocks concept now, students.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Any doubt on it?
No, sir.
Okay, Surya, you can proceed with next topic. Hello, Surya. Hello. Hello. Students, any doubts in this building blocks? I posted in chat. You can refer that 5 building blocks. If you have any doubts now, you can ask. Hello. Guys, what is the next topic we are going to? Hello.
The
Can I?
syllabus we don't know, I think.
Surya.
Yeah. I sorry. Disconnected from session. That's why I called again. Here.
Okay. Actually, students, I explained the concepts of building blocks to the students. I think everybody understand it. What is the
Let
next
me tell.
topic?
Kalai, once again. Guys, Kalai has been explained everything in a short period. Okay, but the thing is that particularly for this 5 particularly building blocks, we take some minimum of half day of session to explain to you all. Okay, because the 5 points which he have explained, it is a major part to develop an app. If you learn these points, you can easily develop an app by yourself. But it is not that much easy. We can explain in a short period of time. So he explained you in a very speedy way in a short period, by which you can get the points and we can refer. We will share you some uh, files regarding it. You can later get from your staff and you can know about the things. Okay. Is it
Topic.
so?
Mobile UA resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
Students, the next topic is mobile UI resources. This is like layout UI elements, drawable menus like this. Actually, I explained the activity to you all. So in this activity, this is a Java part. Okay, activity, services, those things you need to implement in Java part. So this is the coding for for functionalities you need to develop using Java programming. You need to integrate it. Okay, so I'm coming to the UI part. So to develop an UI, you need to know about XML programming language. Like using these elements, UI elements, we can develop the UI screens like button, edit text, those things we can develop. Okay. So okay, relative layout and frame layout, lot of things are there. Okay. Let I explain. There will be vertical structure of the UI elements. Like if you use the linear layout as the vertical now, so how many buttons you are designing inside this elements? Like one by one, it will be placed. Okay, if you place as a horizontal properties now inside the parent layout, this child will be in horizontal positions, like one by one in horizontal. Okay, so these two are are the properties for in relative layout. There will be parent be there. There will be one parent on top of that parent. The child will be placed on bottom, like left or right, like that we can place it. Okay, so the child will be placed on top of that parent. It will be placed left side. It will be in bottom of parent. It will be placed in left side planet. Like this we can define. Okay, I will share some coding example for you
Kalai, one
to
second.
differ these things.
Kalai,
Okay,
one second.
like the
Guys,
like
can you
yeah.
get what Kalaivan is trying to explain over here? Anybody can talk regarding your text, because he's just talking about the layout part, which you are going to develop in the app. Okay. So there are type of layout which he is explaining. Right in the starting, I told you there's a lot of activity we have to select in the starting tab model when we started the application to create. Okay. The same way, coding part we have to select and we have to develop over there. That is the thing Kalai is explaining over here. So you have to be more interactive over here, by which you can get more things from him. If you be silent means, I don't know how much you are getting. We don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Are you getting the things? Can you unmute or text over here?
Yes, sir, we can understand.
So you can understand what is the layout, right?
So,
Okay, then okay. Kala, you can carry on, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So these layouts are the parent structure. So the child will be placed inside this parent layout with that with their parent properties. Okay. I explain like linear is linear in linear layout. There is two properties like vertical and horizontal. In a relative layout, there will be lot of properties like bottom, top, left, right. Like this, we can place the child elements. Okay. So like this, there are a lot of parent and child concepts in Android UI elements. One of the biggest one thing is list view, grid view. This is the group of process we can define. 1 minute, boss. The things like list view, you have n number of elements in that single view. Like that, we can place it group of view. Okay. And also the drawable concept is, if you want to place an image to the app now, there will be a drawable folder inside the Android Studio. Like inside the resource, there will be a drawable folder. You can place that image or a external asset file inside the drawable folder, and you can refer it into the view. Okay, like you can place an image inside that folder, and you can refer it with that ID in XML coding. Okay, and also menu is one of the features of Android applications. You can see in top of every app there will be three dots. Okay, if you click that three dot now, some menu options will be displayed. If you click some that menu options now, it will be do some functions like moving on another activity, or moving to displaying in pop-up, or connecting to the Wi-Fi, or connecting to the internet. Like this, we can do some options, some functionalities in that menu options. Okay, so this is a concept in menu. Everybody understand it? Any doubts? Hello guys. Hello.
yes, sir.
Okay, I'm moving to the next topic, like activity states and life cycle. So previously I explained like every activity having some life cycle, like on create, on pause, on stop, on pause, on resume, on destroy, like this. So if an application is moving from one state to another state, this activity life cycle will be involved in the coding. Like we can do some functionalities inside this activity life cycle method. So if an application going to the on pause method, we can stop these services which is connecting to the internet, or downloading from the internet. We can stop it and we can resume it. Okay, so using this lifecycle method, every application states we can be handled, and we can be uh, proceed with the functionalities. Okay, everybody understand it? You can move to the next topic.
Sir, are you showing some PPT or something
Hello,
while explaining?
your voice is very low. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. I'm asking, are you showing some PPT or something while explaining?